I'd like to call to order the May Park and Recreation Committee meeting. May we have the roll call, please?
Committee Member Hunter.
Present.
Chair Key.
Here.
Member Keller.
Here.
Member Merrill.
Here.
Member Robertson.
Here.
Member Robinson.
Here.
Member Rozier. County Liaison Whitman.
Yep. Okay, great. Any public comments? Seeing none in the room, are there any online? Nothing online? Okay.
If anybody wants to eat some pizza and other things, they're in the kitchen.
May I let the audience know that we should make comments that pertain to committee business and not something that is not.
I just thought it'd be interesting. That's fine.
Well, we do have a council member who's very much a stickler for the rules. I gotta make sure we follow that.
Okay.
So let's do the approval of minutes. You have been given the April 1st minutes, and are there any comments, additions? If not, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, seconds. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Hi.
Any nays or abstentions?
I wouldn't, so I can't comment.
Okay, so Frank abstains. And so it's been approved by all, except Frank abstentions. And welcome, Bob. You missed the approval of the minutes, but it's probably okay. Okay, so let's move on to the Brightview presentation, and we can combine that with the quality site as well. So however you want to do the order.
Well, I have Sam Gibson's on Zoom here. He's the manager that oversees the town center and the park for Brightview.
Okay.
He'll talk to you guys for a few open to any questions and concerns you guys have, and then we can go over QSA.
Okay, great.
Can you hear us okay, Sam?
I can. Hi, everybody. Again, my name's Sam Gibson. I'm with Brightview Landscaping as an account manager. And I just started overseeing this account last month. So bear with me if I don't have answers to your question. I'll do the best I can, though. So yeah, we have two full-time employees that work at Holbrook Palmer Park. They each work 40 hours a week. And day to day, that looks like turf maintenance, weed removal, trimming, and also we have dedicated irrigation techs, irrigation team that will conduct repairs on site as needed. Sometimes that's on an emergency basis. Sometimes that's fixing a sprinkler or something like that. We get to it as soon as we can. Typically, sprinklers and stuff like that are fixed on site right then and there. Sometimes our full-time gardener, the crew leader, Augustine, can fix some small things that don't take very long. Sometimes we have to send a irrigation tech for more specialized repairs. So yeah, with that, I will go through a quality site assessment. Part of my role as an account manager is to keep in contact with Will Burse regularly with any needs that he may have at the park. And I send monthly QSAs to, which is a acronym for quality site assessment. That's just basically updating Will with what we did during the month or the state of the park and certain projects that the team may be working on. Now, let me share my screen here.
They have a copy of your QSA in their pamphlets for this month, so I give them one every month.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. Okay. Well then, yeah. So I'll just go through this past month QSA. So we have some pictures here. Pavilion walkways are blown regularly. Any frac weeds and excess debris are removed. Vegetation is always pruned away from walkways. That's a pretty big priority. Just for safety reasons, we keep the vegetation out of the walkways. And the gardeners are very trained as to how to prune stuff that in such a way that looks natural, but also is not obstructing walkways. So yeah, the turf is also cut weekly and edged along the beds. During the winter months, the turf maintenance slows down a little bit, just because it doesn't grow quite as fast. It's a little dormant, but we mow bi-weekly instead, so once every 2 weeks. But during the summer months, spring and summer, we cut it every week. So yeah, we can see turf beds are cleared of any weeds, trash, litter, stuff like that. It is a public park, so that stuff does add up. So this is a daily task. Let's see, I'll scroll down here. This is so we can see walkways are clear of litter. This past month, the crew went to an event on Arbor Day and assisted with planting several trees at the park. This is just one of them as an example of those trees. And we also staked them. We added another stake to this one to make sure they're stabilized. Another project was these rose beds near the pavilion. The roses were drying out, the roots were exposed, so we went ahead and we don't manage these. There's a group that prefers to manage them. They planted them and pruned them, but we do keep the beds clear of any weeds or trash, and we also added another top layer of soil here because the roots were exposed. And since we've done that, they've really flourished and they look great. So that's just an example of what we're doing at the park regularly. And here's a recommendation I put on the QSA. We might want to talk about potentially redoing some DG at the park, just because we can see how the water is running over and kind of pooling up, and we can apply another layer of DG and seal that just so it doesn't add up. So yeah, with that, I'll answer any questions you may have.
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, it may go more to Will, I don't know, Sam, either one of you, is that, I have noticed throughout many areas of the park, there's a lot of unnatural planting by the birds, they poop and things plant, so it's unintentional growth such as, ivy, the iris, Texas privets, and they're coming up all over. And my concern is that in several areas, the ivy has taken and is starting to suffocate. Camellias, Virginia is encroaching in on a rose garden. And I would like to see that ivy pulled out by the roots, because taking a weed eater and whacking out the rose, whacking out ivy just encourages it to grow more. It doesn't solve any problems. The same with planting roses, which is not used, it was even before Will was there, under redwood trees, it doesn't work. And so I just see a lot of unintentional plants all throughout. And maybe being a botanical artist, and I see these things and I just go, wait a minute, we just spent $1 million on beautiful landscaping, and then to have these things unintended, I'm not getting it. When it would just take a little bit, as what my father would say, elbow grease to solve the problem. And I see many, many branches with complete limbs that are dead, and they take it as pruning rather than following the dead branch to the trunk of the tree and cutting it out. Pruning is not taking care of the health of a tree. And I've also seen the boxwood hedge all along the walkway up to the pavilion. There's highs and lows and dead stuff, and it's just inconsistency. And I think for aesthetics, it should be cut to the lowest, everything even, and let it grow up together rather than highs and lows and chunks of dead wood. So these are some of the things that I put on our walkthrough, Will, but that was a month ago, and I've seen none of them addressed.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
On our next walk around, I have a monthly walk around with them. I'll bring that up.
I'll be happy to walk with you ahead of that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we do it around the town center, but we have all the
okay.
managers together. I'll be able to talk to them all. We'll go over it.
Does Brightview take care of pruning the trees, or is that's
They
not
prune
our-
to a certain height.
Okay,
And
but
then,
they'll cut back branches.
yeah, they'll cut back
Okay.
things, yeah, if we need to, yeah.
Yeah, because this has been requested for 3 years.
But is the branches you've seen, are they very high? Or
I could stand on a one-step ladder and cut them.
okay, so they're within.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so they're within
no,
reach.
they're not like way up
Okay.
there, no, that an arborist needs to deal with that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
No,
if
these
it's
are all
an
people
arborist
friendly.
we need to bring in.
People
or-
friendly big
Okay.
branches.
We're supposed to.
But we don't have them go around tree by tree. It's usually we target a tree. around.
Well.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
there's-
and
there's
also,
certain- there's
many
certain
of the
things that need to
roses,
be
in fact,
done.
most of the roses that are in the garden by the main house parking lot are root suckers. They're not even roses, they're the root suckers growing up. Pretty, yes, but roses, they're not your hybrid tea rose, they're Captain Harry Stubbings rootstock. But if that's the look that we want, that's what we've got. But it's not intended to be, the roses aren't intended to grow that way. There's too many pretty ones we could do. Because this, whatever this garden looks, it's very nice. There's parts of them that are very nice and this one, this is pretty bad.
What, number 2?
No, it's over, no, number 2 is a very nice garden.
Yeah, so the one you were just saying. was
Yeah,
nice. So that's
it's
the-
very nice, but the
that's
other ones are.
That's the garden guild.
No, the garden guild is on the next page where, on 10. The Atherton Garden Guild was 10. I gave them most of the roses on 4.
You did, huh? Okay.
Leah Mormon and I did,
Okay, good.
but that was a long time ago. Like probably 15 years, and they're in the perfect location. There's no competing ivy, no competing trees. I mean, they're just in a perfect location and have been cared for.
Okay, so you'll walk through with Will?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Are there any other questions or comments? Any public comments? Okay, well, thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your feedback. Yeah, I take this to heart, so we will be looking at the ivy and tree branches and I've made some notes and Will and I will discuss shortly. So I appreciate that. Thank you all for your time.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Great.
You as well.
Okay, let's move on to 5B, pickleball and tennis update.
Let's see, the only update from last month, I've talked to Robert some more about the timing of talking to Player Capital about installing some parameters around their use of the courts, because there currently aren't those parameters. And Robert wanted to get through the budget first. I'm not sure exactly what the timing of that is, but after that, we would go to and talk to Player Capital in advance of their September potential renewal. I think in September, the 3-year period, existing 3-year period of the agreement is over, but there's 2 1-year extensions that we have the option to do.
Yeah.
So this is a good time to raise the issue of what are the parameters. The context of the parameters, before I came here tonight, I just went and looked online. This coming Saturday, Player Capital has 4 courts reserved from 8 in the morning till 6 at night. Exactly the same on May 16th already, so a week and a half.
Is one of the play courts?
Yes,
Okay, good.
but they've got 4 courts, 8 to 6, which leaves very little for the public. Same thing, May 16th, next Saturday, that's already set up, and the public doesn't have the ability to go on for May 16th, so they've already grabbed those. I then looked at this week, and today, tomorrow, and Friday, they've reserved 5 courts. For parts of the time, May 15th on Friday, for example, a week from Friday, they've got 5 courts from 4 to 6 p.m. So it's something that needs to get fixed pretty significantly. And where I would like to head it is that they have the ability, well, right now, there's nothing in the agreement that addresses how many courts they should be using. So they're using it whatever they want to. And it's restricting tennis, it's restricting pickleball, it's, in my view, not serving the residents of Atherton well, or the key holders. I think where we should try to head is to allow them to use 2 courts plus the clay court during the 7 days of the week. And hopefully that works from their perspective. And I think that would free up both tennis and pickleball.
So it's a max of 3 courts all the time, is that?
That's what I would suggest,
Okay.
yeah.
Too hard one
Or
play.
less.
Too hard.
Or less, yeah.
Or less, yeah.
Would it be, if they want to use it during the week when it's less used by residents? Could we, for example, just the busy time, say in Saturdays? I feel like Saturdays is when both residents and player capital all want to use it. Maybe just limit Saturdays to 3 courts. I don't know if we have to limit them to maximum 3 all the time, if there's not other times where it's just as busy as Saturday.
Maybe, I had a friend call me yesterday and say he was in town next Wednesday on the 13th. Do you want to play pickleball at 4 p.m.? I said, sure. I went to the site and I can't play pickleball here at 4 p.m. on next Wednesday. It's blocked. You can only play till noon. And it's just not right, in my view.
Yeah, that's not a time where it's reserved for pickleball, so you wouldn't be able to anyway.
Yeah, Don, we just have set up certain times, and that's one time when it's not pickleball, not court.
But we can adjust that. There's no reason not to adjust that
Let
because
me
all
ask
we're
you, when
doing
you
is.
looked at those reservations, were the other 2 courts available?
There's a lot of resident use on the other 2 courts.
But it's very sporadic. I looked at those too. Often when you say they have 4, the other 2 aren't being used totally.
I do find on Saturdays.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
They're
yeah,
used.
yeah.
Beyond that,
And sometimes Saturday afternoon.
but we're talking about an entire week
Yeah,
of
yeah.
saying 3 only.
Yeah,
And obviously, if you had 3 only, they would not use the clay court. They would take the other 3.
No, it would be the clay court plus 2.
Pardon me?
It would be the clay court plus 2 hard courts.
Well, at that point, they'd have a choice of what courts to use.
Why?
Not if you're told.
Because we're the ones that have said we're not gonna change the clay court to a hard court. They haven't made that decision.
although
They advocated
yeah,
for it.
exactly.
They advocated for it. One of the things that they do is that they reserve the courts and then during the day, or as the day is beginning, after somebody's already looked at it, they say, oh, we're not gonna have somebody for this court, and then they open it up. Well, somebody already looked and they said, hey, I can't get in. And so, because I walk through the park all the time, and I don't see 3 courts being used all the time or 4 courts being used. I see 1, a lot of times 1 court. Now, when they're having a class, because they do have classes and they have all these little kids there, it's great, but they need the courts, but not all the time like you're saying. So, there's a thing about the reservations, but then what's the reality? Did you use it?
Yeah.
And if you're not using what they have, then I agree with you. You guys should pare them back, or we recommend it that George pares them back.
Which is what you're
Yeah,
making
yeah.
a recommendation based on all this input.
Yes.
Right, not what they're doing now, but what you think going forward.
I'm definitely in favor of paring back Saturdays. Just the other days, I don't know if just when I've looked at the reservations, if it's ever been kind of fully subscribed.
It's not, but like the situation where I wanted to play next Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Why is that restricted at this point?
Well, that's a council decision to not have a reserved pickleball at that time. That's part of the reason, because that won't change even if we keep player capital to.
Well, we have the
3 courts.
council has the ability to change.
Yes, yeah, we can ask council to make it full-time pickleball, which is a totally different issue.
It's related. It's very-
If it's not being used for tennis, can it be used for pickleball?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No. We've recently gotten emails from player capital to the entire pickleball community saying, don't sign up on a court.
It's not.
For
designated
tennis,
pickleball
for
court.
tennis, and then use it for pickleball. That's,
When pickleball is blocked, you can't sign up for court 1.
yeah,
And change it to pickleball.
You
on
can't,
your own.
no.
Oh, interesting.
But what
Even though it's
Michael-
not being used.
No.
but what Michael's been doing, if court 1 has been reserved, but there's another hard court available, he will move that reservation to the other hard court so that the day before, someone can make that pickleball reservation. So that's kind of the system he's tried to accommodate.
I guess my overall point is we have way over allocated time to player capital at the expense of tennis and pickleball.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're treating Atherton key holders and residents properly. Frankly, it's angering to me and to others
And I haven't purchased one because of the feedback that I hear. I'm like, why bother? Because it's not gonna be worth, if I
Yeah,
can never reserve it.
One of the things you might want to think about, Alex, is that, moving the time based on the change of seasons. So as it's getting warmer and the lights are staying on longer, then more people are saying, I can go get a couple games in after work. So the hours and the court usage and stuff like that, that was allocated for the winter time doesn't apply for where we are as we're entering into the summer season all the way through until September. So, you know, it'd be good for, you know, you guys to at least consider and discuss that and,
Yeah.
and decide, you know, what you'd like to
Maybe
have.
seasonal
and then-
changes.
Yeah, I mean, we can make a recommendation to council to extend the pickleball times so that there's more times, which I think is separate from the discussion with Michael.
But it's
because-
related, because I think what we end up with Michael may free up some time for tennis and pickleball to be able to.
Sure, yeah. Is there something you want to recommend to council now that we want to discuss about changing those times, or you want?
No, I think we should have the discussion with Player Capital. They might say, we absolutely need X, Y, Z, or we're not gonna be in business. I just don't know what their
Oh, okay,
parameters are.
okay. But Bob, did you have?
I think one of the things that's causing a problem, I might be wrong, is the clay court was expected to be a usable court. Okay, I won't play on that court. I played on clay a good part of my life. It doesn't work. It didn't work when they first put it in. It plugged up the sprayers. Then they put a filter in to filter the water. It plugged up the filter. And the thing is sitting there at Player Capital for the few times that they have to play on the clay, they try to spray it and try to get it into a real clay court. It isn't a clay court. So we've lost a court. And we didn't expect to lose the court. We expected it would operate like a clay court. It does not. So that has put more pressure on Michael and everybody with having a court that nobody wants to play on.
We got a loose price estimate when we did the walk around with, what's his name, Sobrano, and he said it would be an $80,000 bill to change it from clay to hard. That may be something we should do.
To change it back, yeah.
We've talked
Yeah, I think it's
endlessly about that.
definitely something we should figure out how we get done, because it just hurt us really badly when the clay court is not being used.
So perhaps related, did the council had their capital projects discussion today for the next fiscal year? I think on there was a proposal. Oh, okay. So,
There were more important projects. They
Okay, so-
allocated with more.
even with fundraising, it's not.
Yeah,
Okay,
I tried to get a good carriage house in there too, and that
Okay.
got pushed off.
Okay, so next fiscal year, there's not an expectation to plan for this project. Okay.
I mean, as the year goes on, the different projects don't get installed or initiated, then there's money that could be reallocated, so that's.
Such as if we find a donor that maybe something will change. Of course, it'll take town staff planning, but okay, so that's not a solution. Okay, so we have the proposal where you want to limit player capital to just 3 courts for the entire time.
Again, that's my thinking without having talked to them.
Let's discuss that first with Michael to get something rather than just go whole hog here.
Yeah.
Robert seems to be quite possessive in the sense of he wants to be involved in these.
Yeah.
And obviously, as you said, he's postponed that. So it's not Michael who's resisting the discussion. Let's have a discussion first with him.
Yeah.
That's actually not within the purview, by the way, of the committee. The committee was only a pickleball subcommittee that was there. So
Although it
anything
does
to make
affect,
a
it does affect.
Well, that's not, well, that wasn't what we did. So anyway, let's go through it in regular process and see if we talk to
Maybe
Michael.
Michael would wanna pay to convert the courts.
Yeah, maybe he would help.
No, I think, the thing is open. I would talk to Robert Ovadia and.
Okay.
and give them a range of things to talk about. And then hopefully you get one that works.
Okay.
For everybody.
The other thing's happening, I don't have data for a large time, but I do have data for the 6 hours a week I play there. And there are courts that are taken. If you look and say, can I get on court such and such? And it's no, it's been taken by somebody else. Person never shows up.
That's what I was saying.
In multiple courts. And it's not just one or two courts. We're seeing courts being open and we look and we say, this thing has been reserved and the person didn't show up. It just takes it out of people who would be playing. And I don't know how, I don't have a fix for it. It is a problem.
If someone was just sitting there waiting on the bench, could they say, oh, they didn't show up, it's 10 minutes late, I get didn't go to court?
Well, yeah, but
I
what they,
can't really plan ahead.
if they can't get a court reserved, they aren't gonna try to get 4 people or another person
Well, you
to
don't
come and maybe wait around
You
until
don't
it
know.
comes. It doesn't,
If it's as often as you say it is, if I was an avid tennis player and I didn't get my reserve time, I would bring a friend and I'd
It's
walk
not-
the park and
if it's-
boom, go right in.
it's
there
not
if someone was
happening.
late.
It's not happening with the tennis players. When they see that court is taken, it's taken, they're trying to find another way to play tennis. Now, there are some that can go down there and find out there's a court open anyway. But to get online and find out that it's taken, and then nobody shows up,
Yeah.
it's kind of,
If you can think of a solution,
it's
that's.
frustrating, but that's right, we need a solution. for
Demerits,
that.
you get
Well,
demerits.
And you don't get to reserve
You need,
reports.
you need policing.
But that, how are you
No,
gonna
not
do that?
police, I mean, policing in the general sense. What I'm saying is somebody has to say, that court was signed up, and there's nobody showing up.
Yeah.
And then who signed up? And then say, you can't do that.
Right,
Nobody
They
says
lose
that.
their- they
They
lose their
know
reservation
that if
for
they
free.
write
Yeah.
it down and don't show up, nothing happens. Well, something should happen. I don't know how we do that.
Is there anything
but
on the
something should
site, I should know it verbatim, but I don't, but is there anything that says, anything about no-shows? Would it help just as a possible deterrent to put something in, very bold letters, we
Okay, but what are you gonna do?
have, no, I understand. That
Yeah, we've
doesn't,
told them they can't do that. And they
where-
said,
but
yeah,
where does it
and they
say
said,
that?
yeah, right.
but
Maybe,
What happens?
here's an idea. Maybe we have a check-in system where you go to the court, scan a QR code with your phone, they check you in. And then if you don't check in 2 or 3 times in
Yeah,
a few
That's
months,
It's
then you
gonna-
lose your
It's gonna
reservation.
take a different system than what we have.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And you're adding something that would help the
Yeah,
problem.
but that seems pretty simple because you just have a QR code on the court. Each court has a unique one. And maybe for pickleball, you got 4 of them, and then you just scan that says I'm
You
here.
can maybe do it with the key fob system, actually.
Or,
which is-
or.
Yeah.
So what did you say,
Well-
Alex, if they reserve it and they don't check in X number of times, what then would happen?
They lose a reservation billing for the next 3 months, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not
they
with
still
you.
can, they can still show up
Yeah.
with the key.
Yeah,
And they just are at the whim of if anyone's using the court that doesn't have
You have to do
reservations.
something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
or the person says, I can still do that, and
So if I could, so we can come back, maybe it's good for a longer discussion, maybe the next meeting.
Yeah.
We'll think about it a little bit, and if we think that's viable for the next key season, we can work with Robert to get some, or Will here, to get something like this implemented, because it seems like it's pretty cheap to do.
because I've had a number of people say, would you reserve this court for me? And I said, because they won't know that you're not on the court.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't do that. I said, the problem is, that starts a problem.
Yeah.
I said, is that being done by other people? I don't want to talk about it.
But if you could come back and kind of maybe think about something reasonable, like miss 3 reservations or miss 2 reservations or 4, and then maybe a period where
Yeah.
they're not allowed to make reservations, what that might
Exactly,
be.
it's not a big deal. Take them off, take the reservation and let the court be open. But it has to be a certain time period, so the person has time to sign up for the court. And every time I see there's open courts and then I look and I see somebody signed in, I get aggravated.
Well, hopefully this will be a solution. We can,
Okay.
you
You
All
know,
right, thank you.
we replace all of the keys every year, every February.
Yes.
In lieu of that, we could use a key fob system that just lasts forever. and it's more modern, and it would address what you're describing.
Yeah, we could see if something like that we could do.
Well, it's a question of, for as long as you have that, you have to pay a fee. The fee is an annual fee. So if you get one that
Well,
lasts forever.
you could stop the
change.
coupon.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
deactivate the
Reprogram the
fob.
fob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
just
all you
have to
gotta do.
change the
Yeah, you
locking
just
system,
go
the way we,
just like they do
Yeah,
with
the way
other
we handle the
places.
locking system in the courts.
Right.
Now, some of them don't lock. Whether they have a key or not.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
Okay, was there anything,
Maybe it's to Walt's point, which is, I told Robert I'd like to be involved in the discussion he has with, Michael. But
okay,
if there's anybody else that wants to be part of that as well.
do you want to do, well, okay, so.
I mean, the
Coordinate
reason
with-
for that is you were not on the committee. We did a quite substantial review of all these issues at the time and set up. Now, that doesn't mean we can't modify, but we just have a lot of background on that issue. We do want, I mean, I don't think this solves your 4 o'clock issue, but we did say that court is available for pickleball anytime that it's not being used for tennis. So,
But you can't, we're told now last week that we can't sign up in the tennis column for the pickleball court.
Right, even if it shows open.
That's right. We got an email from Player Capital saying, don't do that.
So maybe then think about a proposal to extend pickleball times to
Yeah.
some additional slots.
It's so ridiculous.
And then we can make that work.
Courts and people that want to play and we don't let them play. We have got to fix that. We put these courts in so they could be used.
Okay, so, well, we'll hear from you guys next month. Is there any other pickleball or tennis issues that you need to update? Okay, great. Move on to 5C. This is a big smorgasbord of updates of
Give you
changes.
the updates that I can here. Starting off with the event manager, Cheetah Little Catering has the contract. We are awaiting some insurance information from them. So as soon as that's done, we're hoping to get it signed ASAP.
Okay,
And
so perhaps we shouldn't plan on June for the
we
meeting,
wouldn't plan on
maybe
it right now
July.
because it's taking a little while, so probably July, yeah.
Okay, so,
As far as the playground, as of Monday, the playground has been shut down and you can go over there now, it's kind of roped off and everything like that. The contractor's been mobilized and they are they're gonna be working on for a while, taking everything out, leveling, grading, all that stuff. We're supposed to get a shipment, I think, of the playground equipment sometime at the end of May or early June. That's the only update I really have right now, just that that's gonna be here. I don't know when it's gonna be starting to be installed or anything like that. As far as the playground bathroom,
how long is the construction period supposed to be?
the construction, what they're removing right now or the construction afterwards?
Of everything.
They couldn't give me an ETA. I talked to Scott about it. He
Okay.
doesn't have a specific like ETA of everything, but as soon as all the stuff's here, they're gonna start building it and putting it in, but I don't have like exact.
Okay.
Playground bathroom, it's pretty much just waiting for, it's not gonna happen at the same exact time. After talking to Scott, they're waiting on some permitting and then they have to put out the, I guess, to get a contractor on board and everything like that. So they're probably a couple months behind the playground.
And then it sounds like that there'll be 2 independent contractors so that they'll be working side by
Yes.
side and both have
Yeah,
their own
different ones.
staging areas. So it will be quite the.
Right now, the staging area, we're clearing out a pathway for them to get their equipment to the playground, making sure that they have rumble strips and stuff so they don't mess up irrigation or anything like that. We're pruning back some of the trees, we're putting tree protection around the trees and everything while they do that. They're staging their equipment right now, which is like 3 or 4 parking spots where the sand station used to be. For right now. Jennings Pavilion lighting, I got a call from Coast Lighting. The lighting has come in, so a little ahead of schedule. We had to pay our remaining balance, which I think the check just went out this week, so I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, we'll get the lighting up at Jennings.
Okay,
Okay, as far as AV upgrades and stuff like that, I talked to Anthony. A lot of the stuff's been put on hold. He didn't have really a big update for me. I'm working,
on hold for what?
I guess it's just installation problems and finding materials and stuff like that. So he didn't have a big update for me. I asked him this morning. So you're supposed to give me a little more information. Never got it.
I've had a resident inquire about
Yeah.
this. He says there's a lot of trouble hearing in Jennings Pavilion, and so they'd like to get some AV improvements.
Yeah, no, I know it's in the works. I just don't have a timetable for it.
Okay.
He's working on it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're hoping the picnic table came in for,
I saw the flags out
yeah,
there.
so we're gonna hopefully, now that there's no rain next week, hopefully we'll get the DG started. So we should get that installed in the next couple of weeks too.
Thank you.
So that's all the updates I have.
And then, are there EV chargers going in the north parking lot? I think.
There's supposed to be, I don't have any
Okay,
timetable or information on it.
Okay.
Robert's heading that one.
okay. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there anything online?
Nothing on.
Nothing online. Okay, thank you, Will. Julie, park signage. You wanted to have the committee discussing something or?
The only thing that I was suggesting was to replace the temporary dog on leash signs with something, I mean, I don't know if I want to say permanent, but the ones as Will not, they're on wires and they fall
They've
over.
been moved to plastic.
Yeah, we upgraded them to plastic.
Oh, you
The
did?
chief
Do
did order
they
some
stand
ones
up
that
better?
they're thicker
they seem like
plastic,
it, yeah.
but they still.
Okay, well, I was just there for Earth Day and I did not see them. So if they've been upgraded, then that's maybe all we need to do.
I mean, there's a variety still of the metal ones, but there is a
Okay, yeah.
larger than handful ones of
Okay,
the thicker
great.
plastics.
If you resolved it without having to,
Well, we'll see, because there's the guy that runs around the park. He thinks the dogs should be able to be free reign, and he takes the
really?
signs and he throws them into the bushes.
oh, you're
Or-
kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
I thought it was like wind.
No.
Wait till the chief hears about this.
It is a person, it is a person. He's been stopped and talked to by the police. And it's slowed down for a while, but yes, he kicks the signs down, or, when you're coming around the corner by where the bridge is, throws them into the woods
Okay,
and
that
stuff like
explains
that.
everything. I
That's-
had no
that's
idea. I
felonious
thought they were
assault.
Edward Abbey.
super flimsy, and that's why I was saying. they were all-
No, it's a young man. It's a young
I did
man
that
who
on
does
somebody's
that.
property,
Yeah,
and as the police, I'd be arrested.
we'll see what the chief does.
Anyway,
I'll
How
talk
long
to
has
him.
that been going on? Approximately.
Couple years,
Couple
Oh,
years, wow.
yeah.
All right, well, now. I
Maybe he's
understand.
gonna go away.
Is this
Maybe he's
person,
gonna go to college or
is
something.
this person a resident? And,
I don't remember the
okay,
facts. on it.
okay, it's very.
His
But
name
it's a
is-
guy who just, he loves dogs and he thinks they should be free. That's what's happened with
Do
a
you
lot
know
of
how
dogs.
old this person is? I don't wanna know who it is.
Well, I think he was like 13 or 14.
Oh,
So
that-
Really?
13 or 14.
13 or 14.
Let's start them off 5 years.
So anyway, so maybe
Deal
these
with it.
new signs will be a little
Okay.
more sturdy,
Okay.
but, and maybe
Great.
this guy is gonna, go away.
Get
Get
go
him to
somewhere
college
else.
sooner.
Or maybe he's gonna get caught.
Doing something else.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but anyway, that's the story on those dog
Taking
signs.
leash dog signs could lead to all kinds of
We
more
did, yeah.
dangerous things.
He's probably signing up for tennis courts he's not using.
All time in Atherton around this.
Oh
Okay,
All right, that's all on that.
that was easy to
Anyway,
resolve.
that's a good
I
idea,
have
that's a good
noticed
idea.
that
And we should have a couple of permanent signs, just like we have,
Yeah.
please yield to pedestrians on that one little ribbon that's coming from the gate to the
Right.
to the bridge and stuff like that.
I believe, I'll have to check, but I thought we installed a permanent sign on the entrance that says dogs not stay on leash, but I'll check that. That could be a place where we.
Yeah.
I thought I saw one someplace.
Okay.
Okay.
Atherton's own Edward Abbey, the Monkey Wrench Gang.
Park Foundation, Frank, you're welcome to speak.
What
Now,
do
this
we
is
have
the
to
Park
tell 'em?
Foundation report.
How about how well the city is now dealing with our fountain?
Yeah, the fountain's getting better, and we're gonna continue to get it better. We gotta figure out a little more, but it's improving.
So
Um,
what's changed
We've added a fungicide, algicide,
Okay,
which had not been in there, and so on the advice of Marion Oster, who is the historical person, she has fountains at her home. She recommended a product, and I went down and bought it, and it's being used. How often are you putting it in? Well,
I think it's bi-weekly they put it
Okay.
in there, so.
The sign pickers putting algae, expediting the algae growing.
I don't
The
think
sign
anybody
kicker.
saw him doing anything there, but he did do the things. with the sign.
Sign kicker.
the other thing is we're gonna have looks like we're gonna have a function at the, what did we figure out, Walt, September? Is that what we finally come up with? Walt, what did we come up with, September for our function, the party?
Well, we hope.
We think, we're gonna have the Friends of the Park kind of a deal, party.
Right at the
So,
park.
yeah,
You better
park-
get
Advertised
a
and stuff.
reservation through George.
We are, that's what we're
I
gonna
talked
do.
to him today.
Okay, good.
So that's to be determined, but we're finalizing it here. So, other than that, what else? Anything else? Think we're good?
hopefully you'll invite the committee.
We will.
Okay.
It's gonna be in September.
September.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, so the train museum is gonna open up in September too, so we.
Oh, it is?
Oh, I thought that was July.
No, it's gonna be September.
So that's the formal ceremony when the opening.
That's gonna
ceremony.
be when we first open it up,
Okay,
okay? We're not gonna do a half opening. But, so just coordinate the time, talk to George and
Okay.
just say, cause I don't think they set a date today, but they did talk about September as opposed
Okay.
to doing a July one or one with the Daughters of the Revolution.
okay. Thank you. And then park division and park events report.
The report is in your pamphlet here. We had a few facility rentals last month, not too many, what that looks like. Revenue was about $2,500. Weather was a little, iffy last month, so there wasn't a lot going on. Tennis court usage is all on there, all trending like it normally is. We did have 3 events in the park last month. We had Arbor Day, we had a Green Waste event, and we had Earth Day. So those all went well. We did some more repairs with trying to keep the playground bathroom up and running. We're still having major issues with people putting diapers and wipes and stuff down there that's clogging the pump and everything. We're doing our best we can. We did a little work to the clay court valves. I guess they got stuck open and flooded part of the clay court, so we had to readjust some of that stuff. Big cleaning and taking care of all the events. We fixed we did our walkthrough, but the patching and stuff behind the carriage house and all that stuff. And then we had a backflow that had a huge leak out of it, so we had to shut down the park water for a day or two and fix all of that. So that's all got repaired. We removed the sand station as of I think April 15th, so the sand station is now gone. We are having issues with the main house floor upstairs. It's starting to recede, and so we had some people come out from the company, and they're trying to get it replaced. So they're thinking it's a material problem, and I guess they're worried about heat from the window because there's no covering on it. So
Well, it should expand.
it's expanding and contracting, I guess. It's
Oh,
starting to
okay.
pull itself away. It's happening inside the bridal room and right in front of that big window. So they're saying they will replace it if we do some window covering. So we might put some window film
Okay.
on the sliding door for heat and UV to help that out. But it will be clear. It won't take away from any of the aesthetics or anything like that. So
That's just the main house.
that's just the main house. Yeah, Jenny's Pavilion seems to be okay. We don't have any issue there. So
Other than maybe the
the
acoustics.
acoustics, yeah, flooring wise.
Because maybe if they were gonna replace it in Jennings, then maybe, I don't know if there's a difference in some material for acoustics.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
It would still be great to have a broom in the Jennings Pavilion so that we can sweep before yoga.
I had purchased a dust mop to put in there and nobody,
I saw the dust mop there in March.
yeah, I
was
put a
there
dust
last
mop
Thur-
in there, so it
When I
was,
was there
there
last
Thursday.
Thursday, is it back in the kitchen or is it in some other?
it was supposed to be, I told them to leave it out front. I'll have them bring one over tomorrow.
It was by the door by the
Yeah.
parking lot.
Maybe the kitchen door or one of those doors.
Did
Thank
you?
you.
Oh, go ahead, Julie.
No, thanks.
Did you ever find out how Sacred Heart got the?
No,
cheap
I
rate?
did not. You know, I
Okay.
thought about that today, talking to Robert. I'll try to get that information. I'll email it to you.
Are there any 60? Are there any individual member comments that you wanted to ask?
I'd like to comment on the recycle day that we had, because, I
You
started.
talking about Earth Day or?
No, the recycle day in April, when they're kind of lined up and blocking.
The green waste event?
Yeah.
Oh, the green waste.
Um,
Yeah, okay.
I started my art class early, so we didn't have a problem with art people, but there were people who came by the room that they were upset because they were just blocked up all directions.
PD had a call and they didn't show up. They had an emergency call. They were supposed to be.
Well, no, just hear me out, hear me out.
Okay.
And so listening to some of their complaints, I just sit there and listen. And someone suggested it could not be at the park, but maybe at Menlo School in a drive-through parking lot that is much bigger off of the, not a thoroughfare like Watkins. Just to change a different location. That's just what someone suggested, and I said, all I can do is bring that up. So I just did it.
Okay.
Because there'd be an easier drive-through rather than blocking all the way to Middlefield and.
But it's,
the
but
railroad
it's
tracks.
with the mulch pickup, which is in the back.
Oh, but no, this isn't the mulch pickup. This
Well, that was all
was,
today.
But
That's
then-
what we do when we have the recycle day or whatever they call it. It's paper shred, it's drop off electronics, and it's pick up mulch.
okay, so what you could do, this is just throwing something out.
Yeah.
Only have at the park the mulch. And have the other things at someplace else. So there's keeping a flow of traffic. That's all
Well-
these people were concerned about.
Yeah,
is that
one
it
of
was
the
backed up.
issues that they had, which I spoke to them about. Years past, they've shown up early because people start lining up early. Okay, and this year, they were arriving, the green waste people were arriving right at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whenever we were starting the thing. And so there was a line because people thought that they.
No, I will disagree with that. I was at my art room at 9.
Yeah.
I had my class start at 9:15. People were lining up then, but green waste was already there at 9.
No, not all of them.
Yeah,
But I was there and I was directing traffic,
Yeah.
okay?
Because I
So-
was in the room and saw green waste people in the
Yeah.
parking lot with their big,
Well, that may be,
Trucks.
but they weren't letting people in.
right, they were
They were not
not
letting people in. I
even
made
though
a
they were
request to
ready.
them that they go ahead and they are ready to go at 4:45, because that's about when people
Yeah,
started
they were
showing up.
lining, they were
And we
lined
can
up.
move forward, but we'll take your comments with some,
With a
we'll see
grain of
what,
salt.
we'll
See
see
what
what,
you can
well, I don't think Menlo College is gonna let us use their facility for nothing. That's part of the problem.
Or Insumo School or Sacred Heart, maybe it'll be a nice trade for Sacred Heart so they can have the property.
They didn't seem to have any problem getting it.
Yeah, we can use their
Oh, because they get
parking lot.
they get a cheaper rate. So they've in the past made a reservation for the entire, most of the park facilities for, it only cost them $3,000. And for a normal member of the public to make that reservation, it's gonna be way more than 3,000.
No, they should be, the only school that ever got, well, I've been on the council 16 years,
Yeah.
got a discount was Ensign. Their graduation picnic, we let them use the North Meadow at like half price or.
Sacred
something
Heart,
less.
Sacred Heart has gotten a discount.
All right, well, that's good to know. So
I've been asking Will,
Yeah, no,
why that
I'll ask
is.
George, I'll
Because
ask George.
I'd love to get that discount. too.
I'll ask George. I'll ask George.
Okay.
Because that should be.
Okay, well, then we should have a lot more revenue, then we're missing a bunch of cash.
All right, well, that's good to know, thank you.
Next month, we could get a report on what this compost thing looks like too, whether there's gonna be an issue like this. We did make a comment at the last meeting about perhaps moving that so it doesn't essentially get quite so close to the people that are renting. I assume our new caterer might have some interest in that too. So, will you be over there when that happens?
The party next week?
The compost?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
Cristobal is deciding what to do as far as moving the compost, which I thought, when I saw in your notes, was that you thought that it was a problem where the compost was and the compost center that they were planning on building,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
they're not building yet.
oh, yeah, yeah.
And my understanding is she's supposed to be looking and working with Robert about where they could possibly.
Alternative possibly.
Yeah, so that's
And
not.
Robert and I have been looking at alternatives, just not being able to find anywhere that's
Yeah,
logistically
So it
works
hasn't-
and out of the way.
it hasn't been resolved.
Okay, but, okay,
Could I have
Well-
a question about the mulch? How does the
Sure.
mulch pickup work?
compost.
Just compost?
Just
not mulch.
compost, no
Somebody
mulch.
said mulch earlier.
Well,
Okay.
No, it's a compost
Yeah.
bin.
Okay, that's, I
You-
knew about the compost.
you
And I know
go
there's a thing coming
With a
at the
shovel,
workshop.
and then
Okay.
you can bring whatever container,
That part.
there's a limit, but.
yeah, there's a limit, but you can go anytime, any
Yeah.
day, and you can
Right.
pick up as much as you want.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought,
exactly.
when somebody said mulch, I was
Yeah,
So
thinking.
there's no mulch.
Got it.
But it's compost, it's still good
Very
stuff.
nice.
Yep, very nice.
Any other comments from the committee? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
Wow.
No, that's-
Nice.